Thanks for watching a new video blog. Today from Istanbul in Turkey. Turkey was founded by Turkish tribes. Now the history is more complex and complicated than this, but I focus today basically only on the Turks. The Turks were a nomadic tribe, and you can see still that this country carries the name of a tribe. And they were a nomadic tribe. They were nomadic tribes, I must say, because there were more. There were many Turkish tribes, and eventually they got here in Anatolia, as it's called, and they settled here. And now we still have the name of the country reminding us of the nomadic life of the Turks. Now the nomadic life is, from my perspective, the most natural, the most optimal way that humans live and should live. All the other forms of living are basically derived from agriculture, and yeah, it's not very sustainable, as we can see. It's very harmful for the planet. But the nomadic life is actually one of the best ways. There's also the hunter-gatherer, but that's also sort of a nomadic life. It's maybe earlier than the nomadic life. Because nomadic tribes, nomadic life, they travel around with animals and they settle wherever they want, wherever they feel like. Wherever there is green grass for their animals to eat. That's a very optimal way of living. It's supernatural, and like I say, maybe hunter-gatherer is a little bit more natural than the nomadic life. But the nomadic life is still possible today. Whilst a hunter-gatherer life, well, there are so many restrictions now. It's very impossible to live like that. But the nomadic life is still possible. If you want to live simple, if you want to survive in this modern world, the nomadic life is one of the best ways to survive. Because you don't need a lot, you just need some animals, some other tribe members, and you are good to go. You need to have green leaves around you, and that's it. You can live off the animals. And there are even modern versions of that. I've seen one guy, he was traveling around with a bunch of goats. And he is living from the goat milk alone. So he is doing it. He's doing a nomadic life, totally legal. He doesn't have to hunt. He doesn't need to disturb any rules. He's doing it totally legal. Travels around with a bunch of goats, and he can survive on that. He survives by drinking only the milk. But because these cows eat only grass and no garbage like grains or soy or whatever, the milk that they give, the milk that he is drinking, is very healthy. And it gives him all the nutrients that he needs. Now I must say he's a bit skinny, but he looks healthy. And it will of course be best, and that is true nomadic life, if he would also eat the meat of the animals, if he would slaughter some animals once in a while. But okay, I just used the example to show that you don't need to think that difficult. There are ways of living simple and very natural and more healthy. This guy, he's a modern example of like a nomadic lifestyle. He moves around because his goats need fresh grass. And he's living off them in a harmony, a friendship with the animals. And that's really nice. That is nomadic life. And there are still a lot of nomadic tribes, especially here in Asia, in Iran for example. A part of the population is living still nomadic in a tribe. There are other parts in Asia, also many tribes. They're still living with their animals, living off of them, traveling around, and they don't need an address. They don't need an email. They don't need anything because they have everything. They have food, they have a place to stay. And they put up their tents when they're tired. And they go sleep. They maybe stay a few days until the grass is finished. And they pack the things and they move to the next place. So nature can restore itself once they're gone. And that is the beauty of a nomadic lifestyle and also of a hunter-gatherer lifestyle. You take what you need, you don't take anything more, and then you leave, so nature can balance itself out. How wonderful is that? So it's the most natural way of living. And of course, agriculture, which is a very recent invention. It's artificial, it's unnatural. Agriculture destroys nature. Because you first need to destroy nature. You have to remove everything that's natural in order to have an open field where you can plant plants. So you are destroying nature by agriculture. That's why I refuse to eat plants. I don't want to be part of the destruction of nature. I love to be a nomad, living and traveling around with some animals and my tribe. That will be most optimal. It's more optimal than staying in one place with your animals and sort of putting too much stress on nature. But if that's your only option, it's still better than living in a city, eating plants and all that garbage. But if you look at it from a natural perspective, a nomadic lifestyle in a tribe is the best for nature, but also for humans. They don't have to worry, they don't have stress about mortgages, rent, bills, how they appear to others, their careers, etc., jobs that can be taken. No, the only worry that they have is that they need to put up their tent once in a while, and that they have their animals. But even if they lose their animals, they can still turn into hunter-gatherers. Because they have the skills, because they're natural, they know what it takes. But they know if I have a friendly cooperation with animals, I can live with them and off of them. They will provide me with healthy animal fats in their milk, under their skin when I eat the meat. And I can survive. They are safe because I protect the animals against predators, so they don't have to live in stress as well. It's a very mutual cooperation. It's very nice.